Questions for you. So, how did you get interested in journalism?
So over lockdown, my brother and I actually made a few kind of jokey video newscasts to help with our home learning. One of them was about the moon landing, and I made a stock frame animation of an astronaut walking around the moon.
And I'd love to see that, if you don't mind. I'd love to see that. What kind of stories or topics interest you? Like if, for instance, I were to say you could spend a summer as a journalist, what topics would interest you, and what kind of medium would you want to use to report? There's everything now. There's this, there's audio, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's broadcast, there's everything. What would you be most interested in, and what kind of media do you think you'd want to use to convey that story?
Well, I'm really interested in the climate because it's like what happens with it is my future. And if I could I would probably do video interviews because I quite like video editing, and there's a bit more you can do because it has video and audio.
And do you shoot on an iPhone?
I have an Android phone, but yes, I would probably use my phone.
Okay, and do you edit on the phone?
I actually use my computer. I use a software called Shotcut, which is free, and I find it really easy to use.
Mm-hmm. And why are you, I know that it is your future, and I'm 57 and you're 12?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm older than you are. When you say it's your future, how do you experience climate change? I mean, like, what is it? How have you experienced it? How do you think about it? And what are your fears in the future?
My fears are that the world will be different when I'm older, and I will have missed out on some of the things the older generations will have experienced, like with loads of species going extinct and all the pollution everywhere. The world will probably be a different place, and then I will have missed some of the joys the older generations will have enjoyed.
Are there any specific things you are afraid that 10 or 15 years from now, experiences that you could have, beyond with species, but just experiences, that you think, I'm just not going to be able to do that thing? Is there one or two things that come to mind?
Probably things to do with the ocean, because I know the ocean is being dramatically affected, and it's such a beautiful place, and there's like so much of it. We haven't even explored half of it. We've only explored like a tiny fraction of it, and it would be such shame if I could explore it because of climate change.
Can I tell you two sort of sad stories? So I went to the Great Barrier Reef probably in 1999, a long time ago, and it was beautiful, and it looked great. And I went back with my family probably 2014, 2015. Very different. Yeah, you could see dramatic change. And that's not a long period of time. And you could see what was happening. I took my family skiing in Austria several years ago, and it was in late December, and I'd never been to the Alps. I don't know this scene in Europe, right? I just bought tickets. There's no snow. There hasn't been snow in a long time. I couldn't help it because I'm a journalist. I started reporting the story, and I always carry my recorder with me. And I ended up interviewing people there who had said, as a child, I grew up and I went to these resorts that were at, 8,000 feet. And they had snow for 4 months a year. I said, all those ski areas, they're all shut down. They've been shut down for years. And that really struck me. And my son, Christopher, loves to ski. And he learned to ski in the Swiss Alps, which sounds, Austrian Alps, which for an American, that's pretty fancy. But I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to enjoy that in 10 years, because I just think there's going to be more and more man-made snow and less opportunity.
Visible impact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's dramatic. And when you talk to people and then you look at the science, you can see it's clearly fundamentally changed. Do you have any other questions? Anything I can answer for you?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, great. Well, it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks for the interest.